Hi, it's Panda Movies here. Today, I'm going to explain episode 5 of the drama and the survival Korean TV show named Squid Game. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. Enjoy the video. The previous episode of Squid Game ended with a literal cliffhanger as Sang-woo's last-minute plan works, and his team manages to win the game of tug-of-war. After winning, Sang-woo, Gi-hun, player 001, Ali Abdul, Se-Bai-ok, Lee Nio, and players 240, 244, and 196 are directed back to the main hall as the guards carry away the remains of those that had lost their lives. Player 244, the priest, drops to his knees and thanks the Lord for allowing them to see another day. However, this annoys player 240, and he starts mocking him, saying that he should instead thank player 001 and Sang-woo for coming up with a strategy and saving their lives in the process. The argument annoys Se-Bai-ok and tells the pair to shut up. As the team arrives at the main hall, the bully Deok-soo and his men are already there, staring at them as they enter. Lee Nio, especially, exchanges very menacing looks with her former lover and team leader. The scene then cuts to the furnace room where the guards are burning the bodies of the deceased. One of the guards is seen giving a signal at the security camera. On the other end of this camera, in the control room, another guard releases one of the gift box caskets before activating the fire. The casket then falls to another room, another two accomplices retrieve the fallen casket and immediately summon the doctor to carry on with their illegal operation. Back in the main hall, the lights are turned off and everyone is urged to go to bed. Gi-hun and Sang-woo's team fear that Deok-soo's team might try and start another fight. Player 196 argues that no matter how hard they try to prepare for a fight, they will stand no chance against the other teams since they have a weaker team with 3 women and an old man. Player 244 agrees with player 196's sentiments and suggests that when all hell breaks loose, they should pick a weaker team to attack first. However, player 240 is not having it, and neither is Se-Bai-ok. She recalls seeing a man murdered by one of his own allies in the other fight and asks the rest of the team if they trust her, because she sure doesn't trust them. In the end, it was Gi-hun who came up with a solution that everyone agrees with. Form a protective barricade instead of waiting to be attacked, with each of the members taking turns to guard it. As the team is busy putting up the barricade using bed frames and sheets, Deok-soo approaches their side in hopes of taunting them, saying that it won't stop others from killing them, yet this immediately backfires when Gi-hun asks him if he can really trust his own men. Gi-hun reasons that if he was one of his men, he would take the first chance he got of killing off the strongest player in the game. Looking concerned, Deok-soo goes back to his side of the room and tells his men to rest for the night, but not before noticing the doctor's absence. The first 2 guards on duty are Ali and Sang-woo. The pair bond over shared food and Ali's life story. Ali continues to thank Sang-woo for the help he offered when they were taken back to the city and for what had transpired during the previous game. Ali offers the former businessman a corn cob he saved from his dinner. Sang-woo splits the corn cob in 2 and tells Ali to stop calling him sir. At the control room, on the other hand, a guard in charge of the security cameras watches as the doctor and another guard move through the colorful maze of staircases, erasing the footage as they go along. Their other accomplices, Guard 28 and Jun-han pretending to be Guard 29, make their way to the improvised operating room, with the guard in the control room doing the same thing for the pair. As they make their way, Guard 28 scolds Jun-ho for not showing up the previous night, revealing that the others wanted him dead. In the makeshift operating room, Jun-ho finds a pile of bodies inside beside the table that is being used by the doctor to cut up a man. One of the 2 guards that previously escorted the doctor complains about 29's absence the other night, but 28 comes to his defense and tells the doctor to pick up the pace, reminding him that they provide him with information on the upcoming games in exchange for his work. The scene cuts back to the main hall where Gi-hun and player 001 take over the watch from Sang-woo and Ali. A series of flashbacks then follows as Gi-hun hallucinates a smoke bomb being thrown into the room, where the scene cuts to that of him back at the strike he took part in at a car factory he used to work at. Policemen appear out of the blue and mercilessly beat up a group of people. One of the men receiving the assault crawled towards Gi-hun before taking a blow to the head. Gi-hun is brought back to reality as player 001 shakes him awake. As Gai-hun settles, he shares a little bit of his story before the game, specifically about the strike he previously dreamt about. Gai-hun shares that the strike took place after the workers were unjustly fired. It was also the same day that his daughter was born. Player 001 claims that he recalls seeing the strike on the news and remembers of someone dying in the incident, not knowing that it was the friend of Gai-hun. As the conversation continued, Gai-hun notices that player 001 was acting strange and realizes that he has a fever. He immediately helps the old man and gives him a bottle of water from Sei-byeok to help lower his fever, promising that he will pay her back the next day. The scene cuts back to the makeshift operating room, followed by a revelation as to why the doctor ended up where he is now. It is revealed that the doctor has killed a man due to malpractice, which probably led to a series of lawsuits that made him lose his job and money. For the rest of the time, the guards talk about the people they have previously harvested organs from, referring to some as zombies. They even share a story of someone with one kidney which catches the attention of Jun-ho. He asks what happened to the player with one kidney, but this raises suspicion. However, luckily for him, their chatter annoys the doctor, and he orders them to shut up. The organs that were already harvested were packed in delivery bags and taken away by Jun-ho and guard 28. Back in the operating room, the tension escalates, prompting the doctor to freak out and kill one of the guards, especially since they still don't know what the next game will be. The scene cuts to that of Jun-ho and guard 28 making their way through the game complex and up to another secret room equipped with scuba diving gear. As they make their way, Jun-ho continues to ask questions that raise further suspicion for guard 28. Upon reaching the secret room, 28 pulls out a knife, demanding to see Jun-ho's face. Jun-ho obeys, but pulls out a gun of his own and challenges 28 to take off his mask as well. As they are both unmasked, Jun-ho again asks about the zombie with one kidney. He believes that it was his missing brother, who has given him a kidney in the past. 28 reassures Jun-ho that the zombie could not be his brother since it was a woman. Furthermore, he shamelessly admits that they even took turns raping the woman before they harvested her organs. Guard 28 reveals that the information of the players he is looking for can be found in the room of the front man. Because of his help, Jun-ho lowered his gun, but 28 added that he can keep the money from the organs if he wants to. Jun-ho was disgusted with his statement and ended up shooting him in the head. The scene shifts back to the doctor and their other accomplices. They are now in the game complex, and the doctor can be seen running through the staircases, with the doctor being chased by the remaining guard. The pair arrived at the huge playground that was the venue for the honeycomb game. At this point, the guard tries to negotiate with the doctor, claiming he can go back to the main room and that no one has to find out about their scheme. Instead of trusting him, the doctor grows even more distrustful of him, which prompts the guard to put down his gun and reveal his face. Seeing his face made the doctor feel more inclined to trust him and accept his terms, not knowing that he was about to be stabbed in the back. However, before the guard can make his move, the front man, followed by a group of guards, intervenes and shoots him in the head. The front man accuses the organ harvesters of tainting the game, violating the principles of equality and fairness that guided by giving one player secret information. He departs in search of the other rule-infringing guards, leaving the doctor to be killed by one of the guards that followed him in. As the harvesting is uncovered, the front man and his guards find the bodies of the dead guards, including 28. As the investigation continues, the front man notices that all oxygen cylinders are still in place, so the killer must still be in the game complex. The scene cuts to Jun-ho in the front man's room, looking for the information he needed. As the front man examines the bullet that shot 28 and an alarm goes off, waking up players and guards alike, Jun-ho finds a room full of binders dating back as far as 1998. He looks for information on his brother in the 2020 binders, but finds nothing. Back in the main room, the guards enter and order the players to get up and gather in the middle, and they immediately obey, except for player 001. The guard approaches the old man and forces him to obey, but Gai-hun defends him, telling them he is sick. As expected, the guard did not care and instead pulled the blanket off of the old man, only to discover that he had wet himself. The episode ends with Jun-ho finding a small gift box in the archive, containing a list of all the game's previous winners. He discovers that his missing brother, In-ho, is listed as the 2015 victor, leaving too many unanswered questions.